Hello,
Hi.
I'm Hannah.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Today you're here to get fitted for a suit, is that correct?
That is correct.
Great, so I'm just going to go ahead and measure you head to toe. I'm getting everything I need to put the suit together, and if you have any questions along the way, let me know. And then I'm going to actually put that shirt on you, and we'll do some pinning and more spaces where we need to adjust and tailor it, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm just going to start measuring around your neck. 6, is that comfortable like that?
Mm-hmm.
You have enough room to breathe? Okay. And I'm going to get across one shoulder and the other. Now I'm just going to go across your whole chest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we do each arm. And can you bring your arm up to the side? Full extension. Okay. Other side. And full extension. Okay. Okay, next I'm just going to get you across your chest. And I'm going to go ahead and get it from the side as well. Can you lift your arm up? Thank you. Okay, and the other side. Lift your arm up. Okay, I'm going to get your back. So I'm going shoulder blade to shoulder blade on this end. Good. And I'm going to go ahead and get your rib cage. And I'm going to go from the top of your spine down to the small of your back. Good. Just gonna, if you can lift your arms, I'm going to get around your waist. Okay. And I'm going to get around your hips as well. Okay, next I'm going to have you hold this piece on your inseam, right on the inside of where your pants lay. I'm going to pull down. Okay, and the other side. Good. I'm just going to get the outside while I'm here of your hip. That's your hip right there.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and grab your ankle measurements and your leg measurements. So, starting with the ankle as well. I'm going to get the calf. And lastly, I'm just going to get the thigh right above your kneecap here. Good. And the other side. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put that shirt on that, if you want to just put that shirt on you brought in today. Just going to pin it up in a couple of places. Perfect. Okay, excellent. So I can see it's a little big in the arms. We definitely want to tailor that. Take a look. And a little extra in the shoulders. And come in the back a little as well. And it's a little too long. So let me go ahead and pin this on you. So what I'm doing is just leaving some measurement pins in so I know where to cut and sew. Just make sure that those are even. So it needs to come down a little bit. Do the back as well. Two, 61. Into the arms. Go ahead and move that button since these are a little bit too long. About halfway up the sleeve here. I'm just going to go ahead and pin the spot where I want the sleeve to start. That way I don't do any damage to the cuff itself. Go ahead and relax your arms. I'm just going to make a note that we want to take those down just a touch. And mostly I just want to okay. Alright, so I'm just going to have you carefully remove the shirt and I will get to work on it. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
I think that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get some basic measurements. This is just going to help determine what size. Let me put that down for me. It'll also help figure out, what the best spot for a short sleeve versus a long sleeve to hit, because they're not all crafted the same. Some sleeves are a little bit longer. For women, you have cap sleeves, so it's all dependent. I'm just gonna get around your waist. If you could just lift your arms. Okay. I'm just gonna get a hip measurement really quickly. Good. Move around to the back. Okay, just gonna get around your neck. So I'm just gonna sweep your hair. going to move down to your lower body. I'm just going to measure from your hip down to your ankle. What type of shoes are you typically wearing with your outfits?
Usually just some sort of athletic tennis shoe type.
Okay. So a flat shoe.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you do a lot of walking during the day? Do you need to have a lot of flexibility or movement, sitting up, standing with your job, any lifting, that kind of thing?
It's pretty stationary, but I do quite a bit of walking as well.
Okay. Keep that in mind. I'm just going to be getting the thigh length here. Calf. Okay, so I'm going to start out by using just a comb. I'm just going to put your hair back so I can see the full features of your face, okay? I'm just going to push these pieces back too so we can get the face fully exposed. Okay, perfect. Thank you. The next tool I'm going to use are called calipers. Essentially, they just measure from point A to point B. So I'll take them out, adjust them before I put them on your face so I'm not poking you at all. And then if it does get too close or uncomfortable, just give me a shout, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so the first measurement I'm going to be doing is going to be just this from the bottom of your earlobe to the other side, okay? So I think that's about right. Just going to touch gently. Okay, and I've got to record this measurement here as number 1. Now I'm going to do from your earlobe on this side to the base of your nose right there to that nair. Okay. I'm just going to check that against the other side to make sure it's symmetrical, and note that if it's not. And it's perfectly symmetrical, so that will be the same for both sides. So that's actually 2 and 3. Excellent. Now I'm going to measure from the corner of your mouth to your earlobe. Just a little wider. Perfect. I'm just going to come around here and I'm going to check it against the other side. And that's perfectly symmetrical. So I'll mark that, but while I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and get from the top of your ear to the corner of your eye. So gently close your eyes for me, please. Okay. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure that's symmetrical from the eyelid. Okay, yeah, that's great. I'm going to be measuring from this corner of this lip to the corner of that lip. So make these a little smaller. Okay. And now I'm going to be doing eye to eye. So again, could you close your eye for me? I'm going to do the exterior of each eye. Sort of gently placing. Now I'm going to do from the inner eyelid to inner eyelid. So again, close your eyes for me. I'm going to go nice and gentle. I'm going to measure out here and then place it in to check. Good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and check from the outside of each nose, the outside of each nair to the other one. So just look straight ahead for me. Actually, can come around to the other side. Good. Thank you. Shift it just a little bit. Now I'm going to grab from the where your hairline hits right here to the other side. Okay. And I'm going to do your eyebrows as well. So from the corner of one eyebrow to the other corner, and then I'm going to do the inside as well. Okay. I'm going to get the inside corner. Okay, I'm going to move down to the bottom part now that I've gotten a full face. Starting with your neck, I'm just going to go from the side of your neck to the other side of your neck, and it should be around the same spot. So I'm just going to feel really quickly. I'm going to try for right here. And although these may look quite sharp, as you hopefully know, they're very dull, so there should not be any pain there. Okay. Next, I'm going to get from the clavicle to clavicle. Okay, it's right on the bone on both sides. And I'm going to measure from your shoulder to that inside right where your neck starts here. Okay. I'm just going to confirm that on the other side. It's actually just a tiny bit smaller on this side, so I'm just going to adjust that. Okay. I'm just going to take two final measurements. I'm just going to get a chest distance. So it's going to be from the inside of your arm there to the inside of your arm here. Okay. Good, and now I'm just going to get from the neck down to the chest. And lastly, just from the top of the chin to where the neck falls. Okay. All right, so that's all 20 of our measurements with the caliper. I just want to get a measurement around circumference a couple of places. So you can just sit up nice and tall. I'm just going to get around your neck here, right where the Adam's apple is. Okay. I'm also going to do it right underneath your chin, all around your head. I'm going to start from back here. Next is going to be right above, so right below your nose. Good. You get one across your forehead. And lastly, I'm just going to get one around the circumference of your chest. Good. Okay, so that's all your measurements done. The last thing I want to do is get a couple of skin impressions. This is going to help me get the texture of your skin really right, so it feels more realistic, okay? Cool. And we use a very sophisticated product for this. It's a tape, but it actually works really well. We found that it gets a really good impression and it's very easy, and so we're gonna go ahead and do that now. And if again, I'll be really careful putting it on and off. I'm just gonna take a few samples. The first one I'm going to take is from your forehead, and I'm going to be careful not to get any hair in that, because that would be a little bit more painful. I'm going to peel it off slowly now. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I got to go to repression there. Just going to go ahead and put that down gently. Actually, I contaminated that one, so I'm going to make another one. This one I'm just going to go ahead and get from your nose. Okay, I'm going to gently peel it off now. Good. And the last one I'm just going to get from the side of your cheek, and that should be all sections of your face. I'm just avoiding that hair. Awesome. It's a great texture. Thank you for coming into the Chili Bee Shoe Shop. My name is Hannah, and I'm going to be doing your measurements today for your custom shoes.
Awesome.
So basically what that's going to involve is me just checking a bunch of different measurements around the foot, the ankle. We're also going to try on a pair of shoes just to kind of get a sense of what textures feel good, check to see if we want to add any lifts or change the arch shape at all, and then we'll get to making your perfect pair of shoes.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So let's start by just having you remain seated. I'm going to grab my measuring tape and take some initial measurements while you're sitting down.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start with the left side. So if you can just square up your legs, whatever's comfortable about hips distance apart, and just have them naturally fall flat on the floor. So if you need to push them out a little bit, whatever would be your natural seated stance. Good. Okay. I'm going to take some initial measurements, and we do this because when you stand up, your weight shifts either forward or backward, side to side, and we just want to make sure the shoe is comfortable at all points when you're both seated and standing. Okay, so I'm just going to get initial measurement here. Lining that back up with the back of your heel. Okay. Just going to double check that against the other side. And that's the same. Okay, I'm just going to get from the bone on the inside of your right foot here to the outside. And I'm going to check the back of the heel as well. Good. I'm just going to get from the top tip of your front toe to the side here. Great. Now I'm going to do some circumference checks. So I want to get the ankle, around the foot, and the arch as well. So I'm going to start with right about here. The shoes are low, so we don't have to worry about going up into the calf. I'm just going to get right where that bone, ankle bone, is. Good. And could you slightly lift your foot for me so I can get underneath? That's very good. You can put it down. Okay, good. I'm just going to take a few measurements here, first right in the middle, sliding it down just a bit. There you go, right under that. Okay, and up again, and I'm just going to get it right above the ankle. Go ahead, set it down. Could you go ahead and flex your foot upwards towards me? Yep, that's fine. You can just stick your foot out like that. That's perfect. I'm just going to check how activating that muscle group changes the size. Okay. Good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other side. Alright, so I'm just going to do all the same measurements on this side. So starting from front to back, thank you. And just checking that against the other side, the inner side of the foot. That's the same. Okay. Again, I'm just getting some circumference here. I'm going to start out with the ankle, the bony part. And just lift your foot up slightly for me. So a bit of neck. That's good. You can set it down. Good. And then this front section here. Okay, and one more back here. Okay, can you go ahead and do that same way you flex your foot? Excellent. Again, just seeing what it looks like when the muscles are engaged. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and move you over to the table now, and we'll finish the measurements there.
Sounds good.
Alright, great. So what I'm going to do is just make an outline of each foot. So here's right, left. And I'm just going to use a pencil just to trace the outline of the foot itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and to the other side. Alright, and I'm just going to recheck some of those measurements now that you're standing up. I want you to shift your weight back and forth just a little bit. Just find where you feel like the center is, sort of towards your toes and back, forward and backwards. And then settle where you feel like you're standing up, right in the middle of your foot. Good. Okay. And as is normal, the feet are going to be just a smidge longer when you're standing up versus when you're sitting down, because the muscle is not contracted. Go ahead and get a ruler for the other side, and then we'll do the measuring tape for both sides. Again, I'm just going to slide this measuring tape right underneath your foot here, and you can set it down. And I'm going to put it up to the front, yep. And one more measurement right at the back. Okay. Just going to record those. And the same thing on the other side. You can set down. Okay. And just slightly forward. Okay. And the last one here in the back. Okay. Good. And the last thing I'm just going to do is just get ankle measurements here. Check this other side. On the ball. All right. So what I'd love to do is get you to try on a pair of our sample shoes based on the measurements I've taken, what will be the closest to you. Obviously yours will be custom, so they'll be made for your foot. But I'm going to have you try on a pair of sample shoes just so I can feel where your toes are hitting and where there might be some places we want to make sure fit correctly, okay?
Sounds good.
So feel free to go have a seat to put this back on. So go ahead, put that on your right foot. If you need assistance, let me know. Good. I'll tie them up for you. And good. I'm going to have you move back to the table here and stand up so I can just... Alright, so I'm just going to be feeling where your toes are hitting. These are just a little bit long. We have about 2 millimeters in the back that would need to come in. How does that feel arch support wise?
It feels okay.
Yeah, okay. Let's try it. I'm just gonna see. I'm just gonna put this, lift your left foot up for me. Put that down. Does that feel more or less supportive?
A little more.
Okay, good. You can put that, bring that back up. Just just make a note. We're going to raise that arch a little bit higher. Alright, the last thing I want to have you do is just take a look at some of our swatches and sort of pick out and circle things that you might be interested in us fabric-wise or design and style-wise.
Perfect.
Feel free to go back, have a seat. You can remove these shoes. Thank you. Just going to measure where each of your vertebrae is and the distance between them to make sure that none of them are compressed more than others. Start from your sacrum at the bottom and work your way up, okay? You have a slight curve right in the middle of your back here, nothing too intense. there's a few places. I'm gonna just create a little more room in between the vertebrae by releasing the joints, okay?